Am I the jerk for not telling my husband I won the lottery? The lottery winning took place back in August 2014. My husband and I were married in October 2014. It wasn't a fortune, but enough to make a difference. After taxes, it came out to right about $480,000. Most people would be over the moon, but I panicked. I didn't want our life to be turned upside down because we had extra money now. I was still legally single at the time, and so I was able to accept it anonymously without the need to tell anyone else. So I didn't tell anyone else. Not a single soul. Not my husband, my parents, siblings, best friends, anyone. Only the state and federal governments. On top of that, my husband has a tendency to spend things we don't need and that aren't going to benefit us in the long run. So I didn't want our money to be blown quickly on stupid stuff like cards and clothes. I opened a new bank account with a national credit card union and put the check in. I got started with a financial advisor by the name of Keith, who guided me into investing in local businesses and real estate. And that's that. It's been sitting there since. Flash forward to today. I'm doing dishes, getting ready to start making dinner, and my phone rings. I can't get to it, but I figure I'll call them back. Then I get a text. No big deal. I'll get to it in a minute, but my husband came into the kitchen and glanced at my phone to let me know who texted me and called me, which he always does if my hands are full. It's my financial advisor, Keith. He called and texted me to let me know my account just hit $1 million after one of the energy companies I invested in soared recently. My husband is stunned. He has no clue what to even say, staring at me until he says, "We have $1 million?" I was so flushed, but finally just sat him down and explained the situation. He's very mad at me for never telling him about this. He asks if my family knows, and I tell him that no one knows except the IRS and my financial advisor. It took him a few hours to finally be able to really talk to me. At the end of the silence, he told me he's proud of me for investing into our future, but he needs a few days to clear his head because he feels like I hid a huge part of myself from him. We might just need to take a vacation now. This is a hilarious story because personally, I would not be upset if my wife came to me and said, "Hey, we're millionaires." Like, that's awesome. That's probably the coolest text I could possibly look for. I think it's silly that the guy in this situation is somehow upset over this. Like, dude, your wife is awesome. She made bank and she prepared for your future. The wife goes on to say that they already make good money from both of the jobs that they have, so they're not hurting at all. This is literally just icing on the cake. This is like retirement funds. These people are set for life if things go as planned. I think it's such a cool story, and it's something that you would hope would happen to you. I don't think the lady's the jerk in this situation because I honestly would have done the same thing. I would have done whatever it takes to make sure that my finances are taken care of, and she did everything correct. So good on her for doing this, because honestly, this is going to benefit her and her family in the long run.
The full version of this video is on the Am I the Jerk YouTube channel, so check the link in the description for it. And if there are any updates to this story, that's where they'll be. There is also a podcast version of this show on Spotify, Apple Music, or whatever you use. Just search Am I the Jerk. It's perfect for those of you guys that use Spotify or whatever platform you want to listen to podcasts while you're driving or on the bus or drawing or planning to take over the world. So go check out the Am I the Jerk and Am I the Genius podcasts on any of those platforms.